Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How's it going? I'm the Pie Kid, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can code Pascal's triangle in Python. Now, if you don't already know what Pascal's triangle is, it's an arrangement of numbers where each number is the sum of the two numbers above it. So this is what Pascal's triangle looks like. It begins with a 1 at the very top, and as you can see, at the beginning and end of each row is a 1. Now, the first row is 1. The second row, it has nothing in the middle. It's just a 1 at the beginning and 1 at the end. And the third row, however, now we can add something. If you look at the second row, there's a 1 right here and a 1 right here. We can add the two 1s to make a 2. And now we have the third row, so now we have 3 rows, and it looks like a triangle. So if you look at it this way, that's why it's called Pascal's triangle. It's like a triangular shape. Now, if you want to generate the fourth row, then we have to add together 1 and 2, and then 2 and 1. So 1 and 2 gives 3, and 2 and 1 also gives 3. Now, if we want to make a fifth row, then 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So on and so forth. That's the endless pattern of Pascal's triangle. Now, this is the code for generating Pascal's triangle. Now, we're going to ask the user for whatever amount of rows that they want. Let's say they want 4 rows. Then, this code is going to generate 4 rows right here. So the code itself is not that long, but it's definitely very efficient. And so we begin the code by asking the user for how many rows they want. Then triangle, this stores the actual triangle, Pascal's triangle. At the end, we will be printing this as the output. And this is basically a list of lists, and it's called a matrix because each row we're going to represent that with a list. And this is basically going to be a list of rows, so a list of lists. Okay, and now this is a for loop, of course, but this for loop, what it does is it actually controls the whole flow of the code, because this for loop will run for the amount of rows that the user asked for. So if the user asked for 4 rows, then this for loop will run 4 times, 1 time for each row. Now let's get into how the rows are actually going to be generated. Like I said, each row begins and ends with a 1. And so if you could think of this like a burger, this is the top bun and this is the bottom bun. And they're both 1. We're appending 1. The first element of the row and the last element of the row are both 1. Now what lines 7 and 8 are going to be doing is basically we have this for loop for this for loop. What this does is it finds the number of elements, or rather the number of sums that we need to make in this previous row. So if we have 4 rows, then we take the latest, like the row at the bottom, right? Like 1, 3, 3, 1, and here we can make 3 sums. The sum of 1 and 3, and 3 and 3, and then finally 3 and 1. So those 3 sums can be made. For each sum, now we're going to add together the 2 numbers from that row, and each sum is of course going to generate a new number, and that's how the new row is going to be made. So this may look a little intimidating, but this is how it works. This represents the first number. We're basically indexing this matrix. Since it's a list of lists, we have to index it twice. So triangle and then row minus 1. Row minus 1 here, it basically represents the row that we're not the row that we're working on, but the previous row. So for example, it would be representing the 4th row right here. And so with this, we're basically indexing that row to find that number, which in this case is 1. Like this is the first sum, right? 1 and 3. Down here, 1 and 3. This is the first sum we need to do to generate the 5th row. So here we have 2 numbers, 1 and 3. This would represent 1, the first number, right? And this would represent note that I added column plus 1 here. Plus 1 indicates that it's a number right next to it. So yeah, this is 3. Okay, this is 3, and so if we add 1 and 3, then we get 4, and that 4 we're gonna append that to this row. Triangle, and then we index row, dot append, and then the sum of the two numbers. And so now that this current row that we're working on to generate, basically the 5th row in this example, that row is going to be added to triangle. Now these lines of code basically generate the whole triangle, but now we also have to do some formatting, right? Because I wanted to give it kind of like a triangle look, so I just put like a space before each row, so it looks a lot more like a pyramid kind of. And here we're using list comprehension. It's kind of an advanced concept, but basically we're converting every number in that row to a string, because that way we can join them together. Because previously they were integers, and so just to make it neat and the formatting. So now let's run it one more time and say we want some, so let's say 7 rows. Then that would give us the first 7 rows of Pascal's triangle. So that was the code. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this concept. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe button, and share this video with all of your coder friends. That was it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.